them yet. The NFC West real quick. Who you got as one of the teams that you think is going to do good?
I mean, this team had three people make it to the super not to Super Bowl, but to the playoffs last year. So clearly, very competitive team, a very competitive division.
Right.
Obviously, you got names like Russell Wilson, Chandler Jones, that were in that division, and Von Miller. All those names are pretty much rushing around, trying to get a crack at each other. Definitely one of the top divisions. Obviously, I want to talk about the 49ers.
Mm.
They really sat themselves down. No one knows what they're doing. The whole Trey Lance and Jimmy G thing is really ridiculous. The fact that Debo Samuel 100% wants out. It just seems like the team is honestly trying to build around something that's not working, and they're slowly falling apart because of it.
Damn. Good point.
So I know they're trying to be competitive.
Right.
They're trying to be competitive. I know they try to add some good big names like Travarius Ward, or even pretty much they try to get help for George Kittle. They try to get Lance a more conservative approach to where he don't have to really throw far, even though he got a cannon. But at the end of the day, I personally don't think it's gonna work. Pretty much they lost Alec Mack and Lakin Tomlinson on that O line, so that's a big downfall just for the fact that they have to actually try to protect immobile quarter or a mobile quarterback that athletic that gets hurt a lot. So I don't think that's going to be good for them.
True.
Then on top of that, besides Debo Samuel and George Kittle, who they really got to really give the ball to? I don't think a good name on that team is definitely obviously Eli Mitchell, great running back. I think that he's going to stay healthy. He's going to definitely get over 1,000 yards again, and he only did that in 11 contests last year. So I definitely think that running crew is going to be good. I think the only thing that they honestly need to do is get rid of Trey. I don't think Trey's worth it.
They're not getting rid of Trey.
I don't know why.
They're going to get rid of Garoppolo, if anything, but obviously...
They got to get rid of both, if anything.
Damn, well, they haven't even seen what they can see out of Trey yet. And you know that they love him. Especially, one thing I'll say is Kyle Shanahan, this is the quarterback that he picked. Remember, he didn't pick Garoppolo to come to San Francisco.
Right.
And the guys that he loves, Kyle Shanahan, are guys like RG3. Like that's his style of play. And Trey Lance is very similar to RG3.
Honestly, for me, that's the whole point. He needs to change his whole style up. You want the guy with the cannon arm, mobile, on the run. But at the end of the day, that never worked with RG3 either. Like, yeah, it did, but it wasn't long term or consistent.
Good point.
And in this team, they have a way better run game, a really solid defense, and if they had a somewhat accurate quarterback in the pocket and built the O line, they could build a good team. And obviously, I'm not no coach, so I can't tell them what to do. But at the end of the day, when has his style of play actually taken him anywhere?
Well, I'll be honest. Like, I didn't watch too much of Trey Lance when he was in college. I'll be honest about that. But last year, I did watch him. And from what I saw, I did see a lot of mistakes early in the season. Obviously, they brought him out there, then they benched him. They brought him out again, and then they benched him again, and they had Garoppolo finish out the season. But you saw what Garoppolo did. Pretty much almost got to the Super Bowl by himself. And I'm very surprised that they couldn't get rid of Garoppolo. That's my surprise for this team. I'll be honest. I didn't think that they were going to go this direction unless they would have traded Garoppolo away. I still thought they would have kept him, but the reason is because Kyle Shanahan likes that. He likes to spread the ball around, and they actually have a good team for it. They got Debo Samuel, they got Kittle, they got Brandon Ayuk, who's another good receiver. Actually, he's gonna be a good slot receiver there. And those two running backs, man, like you said, Jeff Wilson, is actually a good running back as well as Elijah Mitchell. So they're both like a good 1-2 tandem. I think that they're actually gonna have a pretty good, offense they did pick up Ray McLeod from the Bills as well, who's gonna another decent wide receiver, and um, we don't know much from him because he's in his he's still early in his career and he hasn't had much playing time. So we'll see if he actually gets a little bit more into the mix this year. He's probably gonna be a third or fourth receiver, but
Right.
I think that they're actually set on offense, and their big question is going to be, that defense. If that defense can do what it did last year, then they're actually set up in a pretty good spot. They do got Nick Bosa, you know, they got Oren Burks, who's a good linebacker. So they actually have pieces there, but is Trey Lance going to be able to score points? That's going to be the big question. They have the offense molded around him, and now it's literally up to him, up to Trey Lance. I see this team taking a step back from last year because I don't think Trey Lance is there yet, but I don't see them taking much of a step back. I still see them going 9-8 in this division.
Nah, I definitely got them going 9-8. They're definitely gonna break over even, and honestly, depending on the rest of the division, because the Cardinals and Seahawks might not be what they were last year. That still might be enough to get a wild card.
Good point. Yeah, I think so too. I think it could be, for sure. It could be.
It might be.
I mean, it depends on, how good, the Cardinals and Rams do, because we can just say right now the Seahawks are probably going to be the low ones on the totem pole right here, right?
I mean, for me, there's one team that's lower.
Well, I'm saying as far as this division, the NFC West, the Seahawks are gonna be the lowest. Of this division.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So what you thinking with them?
Well, I mean, they're starting a guy, that the people, don't know about. Obviously, they pretty much lost everybody on that team. The Super Bowl team from a few years ago is gone. They don't have that anymore. Nobody's there. Obviously, Russell Wilson is the biggest name that's gone, and with them, do they really have? They have a young defense actually that they're trying to put out there, and they're hoping that they can help them. But their offense is the biggest problem, and I'm surprised that they didn't really make too many pickups on offense other than Marquise Goodwin. That was like their only good pickup. But they're gonna be starting Geno Smith, obviously.
I think they got Noah Fant.
Okay, they did get Noah Fant, but
that's still like.
But if you remember, Noah Fant, when he was on the Broncos, he got injured pretty much. I thought he was going to be a top tight end. I really thought he was going to be on Tony Gonzalez level. Noah Fant, he was definitely on my radar when he was on the Broncos. Maybe he didn't get enough chances to get throws there, but do you really believe that Geno Smith is going to be able to throw him and DK Metcalf the ball and Marquise Goodwin? I mean, these guys
Lockett.
Tyler Lockett, who's he's going to be their third guy now, Tyler Lockett. He's not even going to be their second guy anymore. No, because Marquise Goodwin took over that second spot. And
we had this conversation last year, too. I think you didn't think that he was a number 2. Tyler Lockett is 100% that number 2 on that team.
Well, they stated that they're going to put Tyler Lockett at the slot position. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can consider him a number 2, but they're just moving him around.
They're just moving him around, yeah.
But,
I was saying, him and DK were 50% of the targets last year.
True, but Godwin is no scrub. Godwin is nice, too. Godwin is nice. Remember, he was... Goodwin.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah, I was messing up his name.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. So, yes, Goodwin is 100% a fantastic pickup.
So, I think that, he could possibly, maybe move above him this year. And remember, Tyler's getting older, too. And he is the type of guy, though, that can take a screenplay and take it to the house, though. So that's one thing that I'll give him every time. Like, Tyler Lockett is a great screenplayer. As far as that, their running backs are terrible. Rashard Penny is nothing to talk home about. Like, Kenneth Walker, nothing to talk about, really. Like, these guys are I don't know. They're not, like, in the top 20 running backs in the NFL right now. The one good spot you can talk about the Seahawks is their strong safety and their free safety position. Obviously, they got Jamal Adams and they got Quandre Diggs on free safety. So that's probably the best that I can give them. Now, this team, I think that they're going to be terrible because of Geno Smith. I don't trust Geno Smith at all, and I never have. I do believe in, Noah Fant, Lockett, and DK, but I just don't believe in Geno. And
Right.
honestly, for that reason, I just think that this team is gonna have a lot of losses playing from behind. They might even move to Drew Lock at some point in the season. And just for that reason alone, I actually have them doing terrible this season. Sorry to say, but I got them going 3-14.
Wow, that is bad. Honestly, I got them going 5-12.
Hmm.
I mean, like you said, no one's there. They're gonna continue the run heavy scheme, but at the end of the day, Chris Carson's has not proven that he can be reliable.
Well, he's injured right
Um,
now. He
exactly,
has
he's
injury.
always
He's
injured.
not even gonna come in the beginning of the season, like first 5 games.
Now he
Like,
got that disc fusion on
yeah,
his neck, so he's still out.
he's out the
So they're
first
gonna
5. Yeah.
use Kenneth Walker. So pretty much, whole line's not that good. DK Metcalf is obviously something to write home about as a receiver. But like I said, Lockett, they brought in Goodwin. Fance, not bad. Truthfully, it's actually one of the best receiving core they had in probably 10 years.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. They
It
definitely
might be crazy, but that's
no.
one
That's
of
a
the
good
best
point.
receiving cores they had in 10 years. But the problem is they don't need it as long as they always had a good runner. When they don't have a good runner,
Well, they should have gave
that's
this
the
receiving
problem.
core to Russell Wilson though, not a guy like Geno Smith though. Like,
Exactly.
why they
And
never gave him a wide receiver?
they're run heavy and they're going to continue to run, but with no running backs, so that's when they're going to force Geno to throw, and that's not really going to go in their favor. So definitely, I do think that they're going to have to try to get uh, their Kenneth Walker. It's going to be up to him. He needs to have a really good first half of the season. Obviously, they're going to have to learn to. They're going to get Rashad Penny involved as well,
Right.
but they're going to have to learn to be able to move that ball with someone else besides Russell Wilson behind the center. Because Russell Wilson was great when it came to intangibles.
Yes.
So whenever a play broke down, he'd always find a way to get you those extra couple yards. That's not who you have in the backfield anymore. So that's why I gave him the record I did. I think Penny will start the year as an early down back over Walker. So I think it's going to be up to Kenny to really set the tone. But truthfully, I'm not seeing too much I'm excited about.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And one thing, if you remember about the Seahawks, the last few years they've had the worst offensive line in the NFL, and that's one thing that Russell Wilson's always been mad about. He's always said that's why he had to run around and make plays, by himself. But I mean, do you see Geno Smith doing that same thing? No, I don't. I don't think he's gonna be able to do that. I think he's gonna be getting sacked all over this year, and I
Right.
will not be surprised if they go to Drew Lock by the end of the season.
No, 100%. I think Drew Lock might definitely get that start. But we'll see. At the end of the day, they're going to run the ball a lot, so whoever's there might be good.
Right. But speaking of another young quarterback, you want to go through the next team real quick?
Pretty much it's the last team.
Well, two
And
more, because still didn't talk about.
Oh, that's right.
I was gonna say the best for last.
Nah, it was true though. We already talked about them enough.
Ah.
Yeah, no. 100%.
I need to get my fix. I need to get my fix of Rams.
Let's talk about the one team that we don't know if they won or lost, basically. They lost pretty much big name passer this year, but they didn't replace him. They brought in Zach Ertz, paid Kyler Murray all that money, but a lot of people don't think he's worth it. They lost someone named DeAndre Hopkins, who's at this point
6 games. 6 games.
And
He's
so
out.
at this point, he's not coming back for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So they got to find another receiving core to put it together. They also lost. They had like 5 decent receivers, pretty much. They lost pretty much another 2 on top of that. They did pick up Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
So they will try to pretty much continue to give Kyler Murray some options. But at this point, it's really up to that coach and quarterback duo to really show what they got.
Yep.
They gave him all the personnel. They gave him all the money. They built up that D. Gave him some good tight ends. Obviously, it's Zach Ertz, Randall Moore. Pretty much trying to make sure that Kyler have everything he need. At the end of the day, he had a fantastic year. Him and Hopkins went down last year. They struggled with him, but when he finally got to the playoffs, he looked like a shell of himself. Granted, I attribute that to the Rams defense, but he definitely, him and the rest of the team, He looked like a shell of himself. So let's hope that they continue to run the ball. They definitely had a great run in attack, two-headed dragons the last couple years, and it was Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds. Now it's James Conner and Chase Edmonds. So I definitely expect Chase Edmonds to get the start.
Wait, you remember Chase Edmonds? He moved down to Miami. You remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It's James Conner who's getting the start.
Yeah,
Yes.
James Conner started now. They picked up Williams.
Oh,
They picked
yeah.
up Darrell
I'm
Williams.
sorry. I'm literally looking at the tracks right now.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's-
They just
yeah.
right. But no, I definitely agree with you. They lost a lot this year. The good pickups were Hollywood Brown, and they did pick up AJ Green, who they're hoping is going to be number 2 until DeAndre Hopkins comes back and takes over that number 1 role, and Marquise can move to number 2.
Yep.
But Zach Ertz, I think he's a good pickup for them because Kyler Murray does love to throw to his tight ends, and their defense, they're getting old. They do have Zach Allen, obviously J.J. Watt, but they're old. Other than Isaiah Simmons, Buda Baker's a young guy that we can see good things from, but they have an older defense. The one thing that we have to hope for is if Kyler Murray throws the ball around and also has a balanced attack on throwing and running. The reason why I think that they got really beat up bad in the playoffs is because they didn't balance the running and the passing. There was a lot more passing than rushing in the playoffs.
They tried running it off the rip. They got behind by a little bit and tried running it even more. Passing it off the rip.
Yeah.
Got behind a little bit, and granted, that was defense, but really put the offense in a good position.
True, won up 21 zip on them.
Exactly, and then they really just had no choice.
Yeah, they had to. But this year, once DeAndre comes back, I do think that they have the personnel that's really good. Like AJ Green, Marquise Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins. That's a pretty decent wide receiver core along with Zach Ertz. And if you remember, James Conner in Pittsburgh, he was catching some passes from the backfield too, so he can do that over here as well. But honestly, I actually see them doing decent this year because obviously the Seahawks lost Russell Wilson, and I do believe that San Francisco is going to take a step down. So I think the team is going to take a step up is the Arizona Cardinals, and I actually have them going 11-6 this year.
Honestly, I really don't know what they're doing, and I think they're going to have a tough time winning games in their division.
Yeah, it's always a tough division.
I think that's going to be a big problem. Them trying to win games against the 49ers and the Rams. So I honestly got them going 9-7.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think they're going to have the greatest season. I think they're going to fall back.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
Because I think the rest of the team, I don't agree with Trey Lance. I think the rest of the division tried to get better.
They try. Other than Seahawks, yeah, they tried,
but they were the one out of the 4 teams that wasn't in the playoffs last year.
No, you're right. But I still think that the San Fran is going to take slightly a step down, so that's going to help the Cardinals a bit, just a little bit. And
right.
It all depends on what happens when DeAndre Hopkins comes back, though, because 6 games is a long time without having your number 1 guy. I do agree with that, but I just think that because I do see the Seahawks being terrible. That those are two wins right there. That's easy. And you are right about one thing though. This division, the NFC West, is pretty much like the NFC East. These games are always tough. Pretty much by 3 points or less.
Oh, yeah.
The last few seasons has been like that. But real quick, let's talk about the top dogs of the division. The Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams. Used to be the St. Louis Rams. And Los Angeles Rams after that, of course. But what can I say about my team, man? I'm happy about my team. They made some good moves in the offseason, and they didn't really lose much. Like, yes, we did lose, Odell Beckham Jr. and Von Miller. Von Miller was probably our biggest loss of the season. That I will totally agree on. We lost Von Miller to Buffalo, but Buffalo overpaid for him. And I just believe that 100%. They overpaid for him.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of Odell Beckham, we actually picked up a really good wide receiver in Allen Robinson. That's going to be a huge target for Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, and Allen Robinson. That 3-headed monster along with Tyler Higbee. I think that we're going to be set up for success. Plus, we're getting back our running back, Cam Akers, who was out with an Achilles injury last year in the first game of the season. So we pretty much didn't have any running game last year, and we still won the Super Bowl. Now we got Cam Akers back with Darrell Henderson. They're going to be a good 1-2 punch, and I see Matthew Stafford throwing for 5,000 yards this year, with Cooper Kupp having a great year again. Allen Robinson is a really good wide receiver, like I said. And the one thing that we gotta talk about is our defense. We did lose our linebacker, top linebacker in Von Miller, but we got Leonard Floyd, and Leonard Floyd is no scrub. He's the one that we put in that position. Plus, we did pick up Bobby Wagner, who's I think is a great pickup. Even though he's older, he's on his downturn. I still think he's a good pickup. We still got Jalen Ramsey. We still got Taylor Rapp in the back, all the way in the back with cornerbacks and strong safety. So I think that we're set down there. And obviously the best defender in football, the best defensive player in football is still on our team, Aaron Donald. Cool. I expect this Aaron Donald, man. This man is a monster. Don't act like you don't know him. Stop it. This man's gonna be getting sacks all over. I promise you. I believe that our team is made for success, and the one thing about Sean McVay is he knows what to put around Matt Stafford to make him do good. He wants a guy in the slot that's going to be able to catch passes and get yards after the catch, and Cooper Kupp is that guy, and so is Allen Robinson. So I think that's two guys right there that are going to help him. Now, we didn't really we lost our left tackle, which was huge. That he was the best left tackle last year. We had him from Cincinnati, and then he was with us, and then he just retired. I'm forgetting his name right now, but it'll come back to me. But he was literally the best left tackle in the league last year. So we do got Joe Noteboom, who's the new guy there. We'll see what happens there. The left tackle is one of the most important positions in the offensive line. So hopefully he can not get Matthew Stafford sacked as much. But I just believe in my team a lot, man. I believe in our offense, especially with Cam Akers back, and I totally believe in our defense. I think that we're going to be easily a top 5 defense in the NFL with the guys that we got, even losing Von Miller. And for that reason, I got my team as one of the best teams in the NFL, and I actually got them going 13-4 this season.
Honestly, I almost agree with you. I got them going 12-5. Obviously, with Stafford, Donald, Ramsey, and Kupp, there was no money to give around. They lost Robert Woods, Von Miller, Darius Williams. Couldn't re-sign Odell. Andrew Whitworth retired.
Whitworth, that was his name. Thank you, Whitworth. Thank you.
Andrew Whitworth retired.
Yep.
So right now, they picked up Allen Robinson, like you said. They picked up a couple of rookies to get on that O-line, Kyron Williams, also Logan Bruss, because they also lost Austin Corbett.
Yep.
So they pretty much did lose up a lot of that O-line. Obviously, Cooper Kupp is going to be busy. Van Jefferson is going to get a big increase with Robert Woods and Odell gone. And obviously, Tyler Higbee is always a very, very good complementary piece to that tight end position and the rest of that offense. But like you said, Allen Robinson getting picked up is definitely a good thing. He's still someone who can go up and get it and can go and make plays anywhere in the field. So definitely the offense is going to be good. But like you said, they lost a little bit of a step on defense. Wagner was almost as good as you can get as a replacement for losing Von Miller, if you're being quite honest. So that's why they don't really lose much. They pretty much stay in the same position. And 100%, even though I don't got them going 13-4, still at 12-5, I think 100% they're the team to beat.
I think so too. I think this is the team to beat in the NFC, along with the Vikings, as I said before. I still believe that the Rams are the top dogs, though, and I'll be honest, man, I wouldn't be surprised if they're definitely one of the teams that we see in the NFC Championship game for sure this year. I would not be surprised about that again.
100%, man. I definitely think they're just the best team in the NFC right now for me, 100%.
And I'm glad we got to keep them for last, because obviously, they say, save the best for last, and I do believe that they are going to be the best in the NFC this year. So comment below, guys, who you think is going to be the best team in the NFC, and also if you want to comment like who you think the best records are going to be, or some of your favorite teams. Comment what you think the record of your favorite team will be below. We want to hear that. We really do. We want to see just in the NFC though. If you got a favorite team in the NFC, the AFC we've already done. So if you want to check out that video, go ahead and click on our page and make sure you guys check out that video as well, because we did an AFC preview for you guys as well. But really, thank you guys for watching this episode. It's been great talking about these NFC teams, and we pretty much did our whole preview for the NFL right now, so we know who we think the top dogs are going to be. Like I said, if you guys are watching the video, click that like button below and make sure you guys subscribe. Also, if you guys want to check us out, we got a Patreon right now where we got a lot of merch, and we got a lot of things for you guys there. If you want to ask us questions there, we're going to put a lot more content there. We're going to do a lot more behind the scenes stuff, and we're going to answer more questions on there as well once you guys, want to ask them. Also, we're always on social media.
Hunter, you already know what it is. We love interacting with our fans. We pretty much, we got a lot of things planned for the rest of the year. A lot of collabs, a lot of things coming up with other people. We got something up coming up soon. We can't wait to share with y'all. So we definitely want to hear from you guys, hear what you want from us, so that way we can continue to give you all the great sport content you love.
Exactly. Like you said, we got a lot of good things coming for you guys, from interviews with different folks from different walks of life. Could be sports, could be something else. You never know what will come on this podcast, but we love to give you that best sports content that we can.